What have you done? Wake up, my friend. You'll have to gather your wits on the train ride. We have a new case. An exceptionally odd murder has occurred in the town of Gertos. A young woman's body was found along the seashore, and the police chief needs our help. He wouldn't say more until we met in person. Gather what we need to travel. I'll check the train schedule. Everything ready? Wonderful. Let's hurry, my friend. We don't want to miss the train. Well, here we are. Let's not dawdle. I'm anxious to learn more about this case. The police station seems like the place to start.
Sorry, but we're not open yet. Though, if you're that detective, it's another matter altogether. Would you mind showing me your ID? Come in.
Thank you for coming so quickly, detectives. I hope you can help us make sense of this whole thing. Here's what we've managed to find out. Yesterday morning, a young girl was found on the seashore. Her body was hanging from ropes on a tree. We found fresh markings on the tree in the shape of an apple. There was a shoe print on the ground, but it had been partially washed away. A bag of flour was hanging from the victim's neck. And now the strangest part. The number 1 was carved into the poor girl's clavicle. It's not clear yet how all these details could be connected. I suggest speaking to our mortician, Valentina. The mortuary code is in the safe. Here's the key.
They told me you were coming. I just finished examining the body. You can check the body yourself and compare it to my notes. Judging by the hematomas on the victim's wrists, she was hung from the tree after death. The wound on her head was from the impact of the paving stones when she fell. The exact cause of death, though, is a blow to the heart with a sharp object. The edges of the wound are uneven on one side and straight on the other. The width and depth of the wound is 3 to 8 centimeters. Her pupils were still dilated after 8 hours, suggesting she was badly frightened at the time of her death. I hope this is all helpful. Let me know if you need anything else.
I'd say this murder wasn't random. The cause of death is common, but the methods seem quite unusual. So much focus on the ritual aspect. A bag of flour, a carved apple hung on a tree. This all shows a deep emotional disorder and personal motivation for the murderer.
Hey, over here! Wow, I've never seen a famous detective in person before. Hey, I've got something for you. It's real important. You can have it for, say, 37 guilders. Nice doing business with you, famous detectives. You got a letter.
Aha, we have a witness. Let's head to this address. I'm afraid we'll wander endlessly through this place. We should ask the locals how to get to our destination.
Sure, I'll tell you how to get there. You might want to write it down. Go by the call of love, but beware of temptation, so you don't fall under the view, sparkling with anger.
This is the place. Don't forget about the special knock. We don't want to scare off our witness.
That's just how I asked you to do it, but I'd still like to see your identification. Dear God, what I wouldn't give to forget what I saw. I can hardly put it into words, detectives. Just try to listen and understand what I went through. It was pouring down rain that night. I wouldn't have even gone out, but with my financial situation. Well, there was a very important client waiting for me, and the needs of the client are paramount. A woman's scream echoed through the night. Heart stopped. Is she dead? Oh, God. Hanged. Blood red light stared out at me instead of eyes. It was the worst night of my life. I've never been so afraid. Oh yes, I'll never forget how he looked. He was of medium height and pretty thin. Could see locks of silver hair under his cartwheel hat. So I'd guess he's between 55 and 65 years old. He was wearing an old-fashioned rain poncho with a wide folding collar and had huge gloves on his hands. The worst thing about him was his eyes. There was a red ball where his eyes should have been.
Perfect. The circle of suspects is shrinking. The criminal's physical traits are important clues. We should discuss them with the police chief.
Well done, detectives. You'll find a card file in the morgue with clinical records. I think it will help you narrow down your suspects. Valentina is gone, but she left the keys. Here, take them and use anything you need.
Well, my friend, we have 6 suspects on our hands. With some extra effort, we'll soon hook this dangerous fish.
I beg your pardon, detectives, but this is urgent. Another young woman's body has been found in the guest room of the Breeze Hotel.
It's unbelievable. We just spoke with her a few hours ago. We must have been followed. We have a difficult job, my friend. The criminal must be punished. I think we should start by examining the body. Great job! I need to inspect the clue thoroughly. I think there's some special equipment in the morgue that will help. Well, what have you found out? These items tell me that our criminal is probably involved in the hunt. Great work! Now we have the suspect's name. Let's talk with the police chief again to find out their address.
The chief was called into the city on important business. Can I help you? Here, take the key for the card file. You can find the address there. Go twice in the direction of the heart, and then turn to the eye. At the end of the road, the creepy crawl is waiting. Good luck, detectives.
There's somebody in the house. Be careful. Just discovering the criminal's identity isn't enough. We also need to catch them.
I've seen your photo in the paper. You must be the detectives investigating those terrible murders. Come in. I've been waiting for you. This is the old man's room, but he's gone. Please, sit down. I have something to tell you. I loved the old man, even with all of his quirks. He often disappeared at night, and I began to wonder. Finally, one stormy night, I decided to follow him. He didn't want me wandering the house, which made me even more curious. And then, he went somewhere unexpected. The next morning, I read about the murder of a young woman in the paper. I began to connect the dots in my mind and became suspicious.
This is terrible. I hope they catch the murderer.
I had a strange dream last night. I woke up and heard a noise in the corridor. Felix had gone somewhere again. Can you hear? Hear it? I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here, here. It is the beating of his hideous heart.
What have you done? It happened 15 years ago. It was my first murder investigation. All the papers wrote about it. It was a notable case and seemed simple. I just had to collect the evidence. It was a terrible double murder. The killer hung the wife Victoria from the apple tree in the garden behind the house. Maria, the daughter of a famous mogul, was killed near her house. The killer left her body in the barn. The suspect was...
You won't get away with this. You'll pay for everything you've done. You'd better confess now and speed up my work. Oh, great, you're here. Your first case will be easy. Collect any evidence that will prove that this criminal is guilty. This man, Felix, was arrested at the crime scene. Now he's the main suspect in the murders of his wife and daughter. Everything is noted here. The crime scene address and all the places you should inspect thoroughly. You'll find the results of the body examinations in the morgue. Collect everything you need for the investigation here. I'll be waiting for you near the gates. Have you collected everything? Good. Don't forget to write down your conclusions in the notebook. Try to handle this as soon as possible. I don't want to wait long for the court.
If Felix is the one behind the crime, why would he hide the girl's body in the sack and try to clean the floor, but not even try to flee the crime scene? A threatening letter. This seems fishy to me. Who would threaten Felix and his family? There are two different sets of tracks. This evidence indicates that someone other than Felix was here. But who could it have been? Someone tried to crack a safe. It looks like an attempted robbery, but it doesn't make sense to rob your own house. This case is more complicated than I thought. These bloodstains look like they were spilled here on purpose, and the glass shards must be from the container. I'm guessing this was done intentionally, but I can't imagine why Felix would do this. Poor girl. Her parents' quarreling was hurting her. No one mentioned that Felix had any conflicts with his family. More proof that not everything was going smoothly in Felix's family. This could be a motive for the crime. I have to talk with Felix about his version of the events.
Do you really want to hear my version of the story, detective? If you believe me, then listen. That evening, I was playing with my daughter in the yard when someone hit me in the head, and I passed out. At first, I couldn't see anything. My face was covered in blood. I started to call for my daughter and wife, but then I saw fresh blood on the ground. For the first time in my life, I was truly scared. As I was breaking the barn door open, I was expecting the worst. But I wasn't ready to see that. It was like a nightmare. Maria and Victoria, I saw them. felt their blood on my hands. But I couldn't believe that they were dead. Detective, you'll find those responsible for this, won't you? I beg you, find their killer.
Not guilty.
As you can see, my first case was complicated. I'm glad that I found the truth about the real criminal and exonerated Felix.